April 1943. It was springtime in the Shantiniketan campus in rural West Bengal. A 9-year-old schoolboy had come face to face with famine for the first time. One day, his daily class was interrupted when a starving man showed up in their courtyard. The man had not eaten for a month. Everyone rushed out and tended to the poor man. But little did Amartya know that this encounter from the great Bengal famine would shape the course of his life's work, and that his work would reshape the definition of development across the world. Hello and welcome to A Century of Stories brought to you by IDFC First Bank, always you first. I'm your host Kunal Vijayakar, and this is the story of the man who redefined the idea of development, Amartya Sen. Born in Dhaka, he was named Amartya by Guruji Rabindranath Tagore himself, a special name for a special child. He really was not of this world. His early years were spent moving around from city to city and country to country, which probably influenced his inclusive understanding of the world. Amartya was not the best student in his strict school, St. Gregory's in Dhaka. You'll be surprised to know he would rank 33rd in a class of 37. But he was curious, always noticing people. By his own admission, chatting with people was and still is an important hobby of his. His inquisitive and free-thinking nature thrived in the experimental Visvabharati school in Shantiniketan, where he enrolled next. His father was a professor, his mother a dancer. Spending time in their company and with his enlightened grandparents, he soaked it all in, be it long summer holidays on the rivers of Bengal, science experiments in his dad's chemistry lab, or practical wisdom from his Nana Nani on literary and medical matters alike. These experiences formed the basis for his own research later on in life. Amartya Sen went to great lengths to understand what development means for an individual and how that can determine policy choices. He went back to study the famine from his childhood, and he realized that it wasn't a lack of food resources, but the unaffordable prices that had led to starvation. Those who had money could buy food and had survived the famine, while the poor perished. He would travel from village to village in Bengal on his bicycle, talking to everyone and collecting data to understand how to get rid of income inequality, hunger, and the gender gap. His studies led him to a more holistic view that it's not just a lack of income, but a deficiency of capabilities that makes someone poor. This is the capabilities approach of Amartya Sen, and he used this approach to advocate for better education and better public health care. Better capabilities equals more freedom, and that makes a stronger, more developed nation. In 1990, he worked with Pakistani economist Mahbubul Haq to map out an alternative perspective of development, a measure of welfare that would be broader and more relevant than GDP. They came up with something simple, a formula that relied on 3 key factors. 1, life expectancy. 2, education. And 3, per capita income. It was for this work and his decades of contribution to welfare economics and social choice theory that Amartya Sen was awarded the Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences in 1998 and India's highest civilian honor, the Bharat Ratna, in 1999. In the field of economics that focused so far on material growth, Amartya Sen was called the conscience of his profession. He made a case for improving the lives of the weakest in society through a pursuit of capabilities. He argued that economic growth without investment in human development is unsustainable and unethical. Building capabilities is the only way for everyone to grow together. And isn't that the true measure of a developed nation? What do you think development is? Tell us below. And if you'd like to hear more such fascinating stories from India, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You've been watching A Century of Stories, brought to you by IDFC First Bank, always you first. And I'll be back next week to tell you about the untold story of the comeback queen, Mary Kom.